guess it could be afternoon or evening or night for you, but for me it's morning, so good morning. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm gonna just start a new series and we're gonna call it Cooking with Sim. I woke up with the craziest urge to bake today, which you may not know me, but the people who do know me know that I'm really good at cooking. I love to make lunch, dinner, breakfast. When it comes to baking, however, I'm not so talented. That doesn't stop me from trying. I'm constantly trying a new recipe or trying to create something on my own, but usually it doesn't work out. I had an idea for something. I don't know how it's gonna go. It should be fairly easy because I'm using store-bought puff pastry, so I can't mess that up. I mean, I guess I could burn it in the oven, which is very much like me. I have some dates and tahini, and I bought some plant-based chocolate, and so I was thinking of turning all of that into some sort of like, not necessarily a Pop-Tart because it's not pie crust, but some sort of like tahini chocolate puff pastry situation. So that is what we're doing today, and I am wishing myself luck because we never really know how it's gonna go. I have my dates here. I'm not entirely sure the difference between Majol and Deglet Nor. I asked my Google thing, the little machine that you talk to, and she was really just talking about like the sucrose and the glucose levels, but she didn't really say much else. So if you have a lot of knowledge about dates and you want to fill me in the comments, please do. But all I can say is that these cost a lot less than Majol dates. I'm sure there's a reason for that, but we're just gonna go ahead and use Deglet Nor. I guess you can use whatever you want. I have worked with these in the past and I usually soak them in hot water to make them smooth. So I figure maybe we'll just start there. We've officially been living here, I think it's been 4 weeks. And I'm still, I mean, everything is getting like really settled and I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not nearly as anxious as I was when all of the furniture and everything was everywhere, or I guess before we even had furniture, but now the inside of my cupboards are still kind of a mess. This is what's happening. I have an obscene amount of kitchen stuff. When we were moving out of our old apartment, I thought we were gonna have between 15 and 20 boxes. We ended up having, I think it was 29 boxes. And of the 29 boxes, I should have counted when I unpacked, when I packed, but I think of the 29 boxes, I'd say 13 or 14. I'd say probably like 12 or 13 were kitchen boxes. So I have a problem. I love to cook. I love getting new tools and gadgets and things that I probably don't need, but like come in handy at some point. So I'm trying to get out of that habit of like, we can put the dates in one of my mason jars. I'm just gonna eyeball everything, honestly. I think we're just gonna use all the dates. So I'm just gonna pour this hot water over the dates until they're covered and let that just soak. I don't exactly know how long. Since it's boiling water, I'd say probably like 5-10 minutes, but that's just gonna let the dates get really soft so that when I put them in the food processor, they turn more of like into a paste rather than being super chunky and like clumpy. I should probably prep my puff pastry. I just bought this at Target. I was originally thinking to do something with phyllo dough, but they didn't have phyllo dough at Target or Trader Joe's, and that's kind of all I have around me within walking distance, and I have been trying to like not use the car as much, so I don't really feel like driving to a Publix or a Whole Foods. I really don't like the produce at Trader Joe's. I think it's good for like little things here and there, like ice cream or sauce, like salad dressing. Like little things here and there, I think it's fine for me to pick up from Trader Joe's, but the issue that I've been having is when I buy produce from Trader Joe's, all the lettuce is wrapped in plastic, which I really don't like. Like, I don't want my spinach and my broccoli and my celery to all come in plastic bags. I think it's super wasteful, and I try to limit how much I use plastic. Like when we were living in Yonkers and I used to go to Whole Foods in Yonkers, I would never put my produce in plastic bags. I would just put it in the cart, check out, put it in my reusable bag, and then bring it home and put it in the fridge like that. That's something that bothers me. So I think on Saturday, I'm gonna go to the Coconut Grove Farmers Market. I haven't been yet. I've heard really good things. I'm not sure how sustainable that is, just because in general, in my experience, I've noticed that farmers markets are really expensive, which I understand because it's local farmers, it's local businesses. I understand why they have to raise the cost, because they're not selling as much quantity as the larger grocers are. So it makes sense to me. I'm just not sure it's completely sustainable for me, but I'm gonna check it out regardless on Saturday and see if the prices are okay, maybe I'll just start buying my produce there on Saturdays and then going to Trader Joe's or Target for like one-off items. I think I'll follow these creases that are here and then cut them in half. So that'll give me 12 rectangles total. And then, yeah, I think I'll definitely follow the crease lengthwise. So now we're gonna have 6 rectangles, well 12 when I do that sheet, but essentially it'll be like this. Maybe we'll do the filling here and then fold them over and pinch the sides. And I think that'll give us something delicious. Please ignore how dirty my baking trays are. They need a little bit of love and a good scrub, but we're using parchment paper, so it's fine. Got some parchment paper going. First, let me get my food processor out, and then let me decide how I'm gonna go about this. Okay, so remember how at the beginning of this video, I was telling you about my predicament with all of the kitchen gadgets and supplies that I have? So see, I just thought of one more thing that I need. I use this metal bowl to melt chocolate. I mean, I use it for obviously a million things, but like when I want a double boil, I use this bowl, which is huge. And I mean, obviously it sits over like the pot, so it's okay and it does the job, but why don't I have smaller metal bowls? So I put a pot of water. I just put like about 1 inch of water, starting to let it boil. And then once it's boiling, I'm just gonna turn it down to simmer. I'll put some chocolate in here and set that on top of the pot. And then I'll just slowly stir until it becomes a really nice, creamy, smooth consistency. I'm gonna bring this chocolate over to my pot of water. So our chocolate is nice and melted. So you can see it's like really nice and smooth. Now I'm just gonna set up the food processor. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drain the dates in the sink. I'm not exactly sure how long that was. I'd say it's probably been like 15-ish minutes that those have been sitting, but I'll just drop them in the food processor now. I'll add in a little bit more of the hot water to help smooth out the dates. I can see it slowly starting to come to life. Okay, I'm feeling pretty satisfied with that. So you can see that it's starting to get really smooth. It looks beautiful. This is definitely what I was picturing in my head. Now I'll just go ahead and add the chocolate. Add in my tahini. This one's really easy because it comes in like a squeezy tube, like that peanut butter and jelly stuff that we used to eat as children. The one where like you squeeze it and it's peanut butter and jelly in one tube. This is just tahini. So I'm eyeballing it, as I usually do. It's probably like 1/8 of a cup. I probably just put in like 5 tablespoons. I don't know. Don't come at me in the comments. I'm really not into measurements. Now, if this turns out great, I'll go back and do it a few more times and find like the proper measurements. But like to begin, I'm not gonna sit here and measure. Okay, I think that's looking, that smells so good. Wow. Oh, just some regular sea salt, and let's mix it up. All right, let's give it a taste. It looks so good. This is a dream. This is exactly what I had in my head. This is exactly what I was picturing. It's like not overpowering with chocolate. Like I think I made the right call with not using that much chocolate because I didn't really want it to be a chocolate filling. I wanted it to be like a date filling with chocolate and sesame, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm gonna need to give it a better title than that, but this is really good. Okay, so I think we're ready to fill these. So I know I don't want to overfill them, but I also don't want it to be like too much puff pastry and not enough filling. So it's kind of like a fine, oh, I've already made my first mistake. I need to make sure that I keep the filling on the side so I have room to close and properly seal these guys. I think some people use egg wash, but I also think that you can just use water. So I'm just gonna put water along the edges to make sure that it gets a little bit sticky. This one may have too much filling in it, but I'll just fold it over first and press on those sides, and then I'll press down the middle and then press on the sides. I'm gonna brush the top with some plant-based butter to get them like golden and buttery and flaky on top. Okay, so I finished my, I don't even know what to call these, my pillow puffs. And now I'm just gonna melt some butter. Okay, so I have my butter, and I'm just going to brush them. And then I'll just sprinkle some sesame seeds on top. They look so cute, like a bunch of tiny little pillows. So this is where we're at. I'm gonna stick them in the oven for 15 minutes, and then I'll just check on them, make sure that they're done. And hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes.
All right, 15 minutes. Starting now.
And that gives me 15 minutes to clean everything up. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do with the leftover. There's not that much, so it's not really that wasteful. But I think I'll just save as much of the filling as I can. I guess maybe putting like little dollops of it inside of, or like a swirl inside of a pancake would be really good. I don't really know how else I would use this. I could probably mix this into some sort of like cookie dough or brownie dough to give it like extra flavor, and cut out some of like, if there's just regular cane sugar, I could cut out some of that and use this as the sweetener. Okay, so it's been about 18 minutes and they look beautiful. So let's pull them out. So they look super fluffy. None of the filling came out and they are just perfectly golden on top. I will say I do think they need a little more like pizzazz on top, and I'm not feeling like they're sweet. You know, like I'm just, when I see them right now, I feel like they're going to be filled with like spinach and feta. So I think I am going to do the chocolate drizzle on top. I'm very excited with how these turned out. So I'm just going to set them here. This time I got lazy and I just melted my chocolate in the microwave. But I will say that I needed a lot less chocolate for this. So I'm definitely gonna add a little bit of coconut oil, because this way when I drizzle, I get a lot thinner of a chocolate consistency. It'll help it like drizzle better rather than being like thick chocolate the way it is now. So I'm just gonna add like, I don't have that much chocolate in here. I probably have like 2 tablespoons of chocolate, so I'm just gonna add like half a teaspoon of coconut oil. And that should be enough to do the trick. It's a lot runnier, as you can see. I don't want to like overwhelm it with chocolate, but I want it to definitely have, I want it to be known that there's some sort of like sweet filling in here. I don't think they'll all fit on one plate, but we can just put as many as we can. Wow. That's insane. Alex, come try.
Wow, this looks amazing. Oh my god. This is so good.
The inside's still warm. I could heat it up for people.
You could. We need to get these.
I would try.
Oh.
I think I'd charge like $5.
These are
Is
so
that
good.
too much? Oh, is that too much?
$5? These are so good.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're here on my cooking journey. I'm really shocked that it turned out this well. Like I said at the beginning, people who know me know I cannot bake for shit. So this was amazing. This is so good. Dangerous to have around. I could eat a million of these.